riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides and the cover art's a mess. There's so much here to tear apart. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Why I Hate This Album, the show where we pick an album or a song, listen to it for an entire week straight, and then come back here and tell you, the listener, if we hate it and why. I am one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, Kevin to my Paul, Timothy Richardson. Kevin, how you doing, buddy?
I am really confused this week, Garrett.
Oh, that's no good. What's got you all shaken up?
Well, you know our intern, Tom B. Rady, the recent, well, not so recent anymore, Texas A&M University graduate.
Absolutely. Looks vaguely like professional footballer Tom Brady.
Right. Well, he is having what appears to be a very real feud with both Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney over soccer. And it's very unclear why.
Yeah, that whole sentence is very confusing
to me. Apparently he invested in some sort of soccer club, some sort of European soccer club. And yes, I did check. He is not feuding with some sort of interns that you've inexplicably hired named Ryan R. Reynolds or Rob M. Seleny. Garrett, I am becoming more convinced that Tom B. Rady is none other than my arch nemesis Tom Brady of American football fame.
Listen, do they look similar? Yes. Does Tom B. Rady have an inexplicable source of wealth and popularity? Yes. Do I think they're the same person? Probably. But we can't acknowledge it till he does.
Yeah.
And for your own safety, Tim, I think you should really try to play along, because Tom Brady, and this is true, hates you.
It sure is. Now, I did see Tom B. Rady throw a football the other day, and look, he wasn't good. No one's saying he was good, but it seemed like he was intentionally bad at it.
Okay.
I mean, listen, you've seen me. I have tiny hands, embarrassingly small hands for a man. And, I mean, I can throw a football better than this guy, and his hands are gigantic. The whole guy. I mean, he's a big man.
I don't think your hands are that small.
They're pretty small. I guess it's short fingers. That's the problem.
That's
also,
what it is.
Garrett, I should apologize. This episode was, of course, supposed to come out a week earlier to coincide better with Memorial Day in honor of our troops, whom apparently love this album, or this song, this band, question mark?
Oh, that's unfortunate to hear. We do support the troops, though, but I don't support this. Okay,
right.
We must move on. Boy, good luck with Tom B. Rady / Tom Brady. If it is Tom Brady, that means he's spent the last 2 years slowly biding his time.
It's been longer than
to
that.
do what? I have no idea.
I mean, he did disappear for what he referred to as the on-season, which I've never heard of.
No, not a phrase I've ever used here on the show. Yeah, that's disturbing. I have to assume at this point it's ex-professional football player Tom Brady here to exact some sort of revenge due to the thing that you did.
Which I hopefully bleeped out the first time.
I think
for
we
legal
did.
Reasons.
I'm pretty sure we bleeped it out. I think sounds like you threw a bleep at his head.
Sure.
You hit him right in the bleep with a bottle. Okay, we gotta keep going. Tim, what song have we been listening to for an entire week straight?
We have been listening to the 2020 single A Little Bit Off by Five Finger Death Punch.
And Tim, after an entire week...
Yes, I do, Garrett. Sorry, go ahead. Ask the question.
After an entire week with FFDP, do you hate this song?
Oh my, Garrett, I do hate this song. I'm willing to admit that some of that hatred may be carryover for how much I have discovered I hate the lead singer, and to a lesser extent, the rest of the band. But I think I do. I think that in isolation, I think I would still hate this song. What about you, friend? Do you hate The Little Bit Off?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I hate it. I hate the lead singer, and I know nothing about him. That's purely instinct.
Well, we'll get into it.
I really disliked this.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to talk about it at length, but it's been a minute since I had something I so viscerally disliked instinctively.
Well, hopefully that will change post-grunge in the future.
No, I really have been trying to make this easier on me over the last several months. I mean, to no avail, but this was very clean cut. I have my bar for like what's truly awful has been raised so dramatically that you got to bring it, and this just brings it.
Yeah, you got to throw a Slipknot in there at this point to really just immediately be at hate.
Yeah, well, that causes me to have seizures and fall over. It's just metal being dropped from high distances. It's not music. Anyway, okay, you hate it, I hate it. Before we can really get into why, I'm curious, Tim, what is your knowledge or experience or interaction with this band prior to this week? Had you been FFDP'd before?
I've never been FFDP'd before. I have heard, well, that's not true. I've heard this song a single time before, whilst recently in Austria. That's right, I have been to Europe. We drove from Vienna to Salzburg and listened to the weirdest combination of nonsense music on their rock radio. There was Billie Eilish, there was Eminem, the Beached Boys, there was German Oompa music, there was something in Spanish, there was Chappelle Rowan, there was Taylor Swift, and there was this goddamn song. And I heard this, and I had to Google the lyrics while swerving violently all over those Austrian roads to make sure that I got back home and was able to write this song on a white ball and put it into our hopper, which I have done. And, it's time.
Right.
What about you, Garrett? Have you been FFDP'd?
No. Unfortunately, that was my week, getting introduced to this garbage. This is terrible. I just can't stress it enough.
This is the kind of thing you would endanger a whole school bus full of Austrians to make sure you get written down.
Yeah, absolutely. No life is more important than getting those lyrics written down so that you can bring it here back to the show. I'm curious, listeners write in heypodmail@gmail.com. How many of you knew this bullshit, know this bullshit, like this bullshit? And hey, listen, I'm calling it bullshit because frankly, it is. But it's okay to like a song. I like a million songs that people think are bullshit. So please don't take my harsh words to heart. It's okay to like some songs that other people don't like. But I'm curious, how many of you out there are like jamming out to Five Finger Death Punch? Because it seems inconceivable to my mind.
We could call them punch heads.
We could. I'd prefer to never speak of them again. That's your history. That's my history. That is to say, no history. Before we can talk about why this song objectively isn't good, we need to understand why this band is objectively bad. So Tim, take me on a journey. Help our, what I assume are dozens of listeners, understand who is this band and how did this very strange song come to be?
This band has had a fair amount of turnover prior to the Song of the Week, so I'm going to concentrate this elaborate and comprehensive history on the two guys that have been in the band the whole time, vocalist Ivan Moody and rhythm guitarist Zoltan Bathory, with a small detour into the later life of one of their drummers. Now, Ivan Lewis Greening was born in 1980 in Denver, Colorado, and lived in Colorado and Wisconsin, where he sang in a choir at his grandmama's behest. He played in some bands as a child. Eventually, he moved to LA in 2001 and changed his name to Ivan L. Moody, the surname of his stepdad, probably because it sounded more badass. He joined the band Toyaz and then Motograder and released an album in 2003. They did Ozfest. They toured with Korn, Disturbed, Marilyn Manson, and The Slipknot, among some even worse bands than that. And then they went on hiatus in 2005 when Ivan joined the newly formed Five Finger Death Punch. Now, Zoltan Bathory, for his part, was born in communist Hungary in 1978, where he presumably grew up like that whiskey bank robber and bad hockey goalie fella Attila Ambrus that we read about some years back. He moved to the US kind of when communism was falling, first to the Big Apple and then to LA, and apparently learned English by specifically reading Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption by Stephen King, and also watching a black and white TV with closed captioning. Now, the reason I know that is because he was super into jiu-jitsu and judo, and so yes, Garrett, he was on an episode of Eddie Bravo's podcast Look Into, and yes, Garrett, I did listen to it for the show, and yes, the sound quality is abysmal. Now, I'll weave in some of his garbage kind of here and there, but I will also say, Garrett, yes, I did listen to a bunch of additional episodes on how the earth is flat and are fake and etc. We'll probably have to believe some of that. And I just have to say that Eddie Bravo may be the single dumbest person I have ever heard speak on any subject. And yes, Garrett, I will listen to more of it. Now, the other fact about Edward Bravo is that he is the worst interviewer I have ever listened to. He'll begin a question. He'll be like, so what did you guys start off playing? Were you doing like AC/DC covers or probably like Guns N' Roses, stuff like that? What did you guys play?
Just let me answer the goddamn question.
Why did you leave? Were you just in bands that didn't work out? Did you not like the scene or what? Just leave it at the goddamn question, you stupid, stupid monster.
That's amazing. Stop listening to that.
I can't.
You know what drives me crazy about that, aside from just the ardent, complete refusal to acknowledge any sort of common sense or facts? Mm-hmm. Beyond that, Eddie Bravo, from the best I can tell, is both probably one of the nicest people on the planet. Seems like a very nice man.
He seems like a cunt to me.
Interesting. Okay.
If you agree, listen, I'll say this. If you go into a conversation with that asshole agreeing wholeheartedly with everything that he says and believes, I'm sure he's very nice.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, if you had to like have a conversation with him, that's different. I just mean like, he just seems like a legitimately good person. Like, he doesn't seem like a bad dude. More importantly,
he has fantasies. On more than one episode, he will describe this fantasy that he has. Apparently, he was hanging out with his kid and some dog barked at him or something. And he's like, and I just had this fantasy where like that dog, if it was going to attack my kid, I would just like reach into its mouth and like pull its jaws. Just, you're fantasizing about murdering dogs.
Okay, so I'm going to strike my earlier statement. Seems like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Wildly successful. Like, so successful.
And that bothers me because...
Because we're not.
Well, that's...
You're not.
Okay.
I was trying to be nice. I don't know why you made me get more specific. That was weird.
Yeah.
God. Anyway, listen, we're not sitting... Well, I was going to say we're not sitting here spouting a whole fountain full of nonsense, but I guess we are. But it's, you know what? Now that I got to think about it objectively, what we're doing and what he's doing isn't terrifically different.
Mine are
Ours
bits.
is just...
Every bit of this is a bit.
We are in the no-bit zone, Tim. You know that.
Fair enough. Now,
it's all real.
Garrett Zulte was the main driving force behind the formation of this band, which started in either Los Angeles or Las Vegas. I think it started in LA and then moved to Las Vegas. Reports seem to differ a little bit, but it came out of a band called UFO that ended when one of the members had a seizure at a concert due to a meningioma, which, as far as I can tell, was successfully resected. Now, the Death Punchers was named in an attempt to capitalize on the popularity of Kill Bill about a year earlier. I don't know if you remember that, the 5 points or something. That's actually what it's from. It was, I don't know if I mentioned this. I listened to an interview he gave to Eddie Bravo where he did specifically mention that goddamn movie.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like, this band is that new?
Yeah. So he actually said the Zoltan, or whatever the fuck his name is, he specifically said that they named it something that, like, you'd just be like, well, that's a dumb name. And then, you'd come back and be like, I can't stop thinking about that name.
I mean, it is catchy. You heard it once, you remember it.
Yeah, it's too long, though. They self-produced their first album, The Way of the Fist, in 2007. At the album release party at the Roxy, they were introduced by, guess who, Garrett?
I don't know. Marilyn Manson.
Eddie Bravo.
Oh, god damn it.
They were. Now, do yourself a favor, of course, and scroll through some of their album covers. They are uniformly terrible and embarrassing.
I think they're great. Aren't they the skull
they're
muscle men
fucking
or whatever?
terrible. They look like somebody saw the album covers for Iron Maiden and thought, let's do a bad version of that. You're right. It is kind of great. But also, scroll through the band members' appearances, because if you hear this song, or actually some of their other more new metal-y music, they look exactly like you're picturing. They all look like guys that applied for and then were rejected from, like, replacement bassists for Korn.
Yes, that's an accurate statement.
Yeah.
It looks like a group of people that were like, we're bringing new metal back.
Yeah, there it is.
Don't do that.
Yeah, so the Fiver Boys went on Korn's Family Value Tour. They had to drop out of a different tour due to Ivy getting cysts on his vocal cords from roaring incoherently into a microphone, and then when that healed up, they toured with Disturbed. They released a second album, War is the Answer, and played 10 shows in Iraq, and that is going to be a theme. These guys love the military, and the military kind of seems to love them, specifically.
It's so weird.
Yeah, that album album somehow was on the Billboard charts for more than 92 weeks.
What?
Yeah. Not high on the chart, but,
Higher than anything we've done.
fair enough. They released their third album, American Capitalist, in 2011. They all continued, of course, to get neck and face tattoos and do ever sillier things with their hair and facial hair. And around this time, Ivan's convenient little problem with alcohol that he would go on to blame his most monstrous behavior on really got worse, Garrett.
Is Ivan the lead singer?
He is, yes.
Okay.
Zolty went in a different direction. He started doing a bunch of martial arts competitions, including the Abu Dhabi thing, some grappling, judo and jujitsu things. And I don't really care because I find the whole MMA thing to be incredibly stupid. And unless you can guarantee me that somebody will be decapitated, break a limb, or accidentally physically enter another man whilst grappling, only realizing that what he has done after it is too late to not have accidentally physically entered that man, I'm not interested. However, if any of those three things are present, let me know. I will watch that.
God, this is why you and I do not watch UFC together anymore.
Right.
Got really tired of you screaming, when does he enter him?
Well, it always looks like he's about to.
I can't argue with that.
In 2013, they released The Wrong Side of Heaven and The Righteous Side of Hell, Volumes 1 and 2, which is about being in battle and or PTSD, and also veterans not getting taken care of by our medical system, which I agree with, but probably have wildly differing opinions as to the solution. And also, I've heard their Not This Song music. Their music could not possibly help with PTSD.
No.
In 2014, Ivan was arrested in Sydney, Australia for drunkenly assaulting a flight attendant on a Qantas flight. Worse still, the Five Finger Death Punch released a cover of House of the Rising Sun that can go fuck itself.
They have so many covers.
Yeah.
I found so many covers they've done, and they're all terrible.
Yep. In 2015, they released Got Your Six, which hit number 2 on the US Billboard charts. I should also mention the last two also hit number 2. These albums are selling more than 1 million copies apiece, and I don't understand how or why.
To whom?
Well, to Papa Roach fans, I guess. They toured with Papa Roach to promote that album. And then in 2015, Ivy was arrested in Las Vegas for domestic battery. According to police, he strangled his wife, then he told her he was going to kill her, he punched her a bunch of times, and then he shoved a blanket into her mouth. And I don't really get that last one, but it apparently, and of course allegedly, scratched her throat really badly, so that seems pretty unpleasant. He really seemed to get it in there.
Well, I got to imagine if you wanted to maybe suffocate a person without leaving, you're still going to have fibers in the throat. But I was going to say, if you shove like a blanket in somebody's mouth, right, and let them suffocate and then pulled that there blanket out, it'd be kind of hard to figure out exactly what happened for a bit.
It would be hard to figure out that somebody killed somebody else by jamming a blanket in their throat. The charges...
Really get it in there with like the back end of a plunger or something.
Okay, all right. We're going to stop this. The charges were eventually dropped, but his wife divorced him, citing a whole bunch of photographic evidence of domestic abuse and got a restraining order against him. In a probably related story, his sister and mom also filed restraining orders against him, saying he had a history of violence against women. In 2016, their record label sued them for breach of contract for working on a new album for a new label while still under contract with that. That same year, Ivan drunkenly ended a show because his mother was actively dying and he needed to go be with her. Now, this is, of course, the mother that allegedly has a restraining order against him. Due to his grief and also intoxication, he had to be helped off the stage by a bunch of roadies. Worry not, though, dear listener, according to his sister, who allegedly has a restraining order against him. She said, "Our mother is alive and well. I believe in my personal opinion that Ivan was drunk and used that as an excuse for his horrid behavior. No one in our family is sick or dying currently."
This guy's the worst.
Yeah. There were a bunch of rumors that Ivan was going to leave the band, and at a show in the Dutch, Ivy did not show up. The band went on. The first song was sung by some other guy named Tommy Vext, and then Ivan showed up, said he was just running late, everything's fine. He seemed super pissed that they had someone else sing on his behalf. He would later walk off stage, and that other guy would sing again with the band, and then all the band members left the stage, so Ivy could rant for a while and try to play drums, and then said he was quitting the band. Not a great show.
Not their best.
No. The band released a statement saying they were still going to be a band with Ivan, but he did check himself into rehab, and Tommy Vext filled in for some of the remaining tour. In 2017, the Fast and Furious franchise released a film called F8, The Fate of the Furious, using the delicious pun of the letter F followed by the number 8. That's unrelated. I'm just going to note that here.
You've ruined that title for me.
Once Ivy was back, they released And Justice for None in 2018. Get it? It's like Metallica, but way more badass.
I feel like that's like their whole ethos.
Yes. Metallica, but badass. I think Ivy got actually sober around this point and became slightly less of an asshole, but it is worth noting that basically the entire band just hates this guy.
Seems like it.
Yeah. Then the drummer Jeremy Spencer left to have back surgery and then became an Indiana Reserve police officer. Because, Garrett, Five Finger Death Punch backs that badge. He would also go on to create, act in, co-direct, write, and produce the pornographic horror parody series Lady Killer TV, featuring one of Garrett's favorites, Tommy Pistol, noted actor in Pee-wee's Triple X Adventure and Taxi Driver, a Triple X parody. Garrett, he would also go on to front the band Psycho Sinner, aka Psychosexual, under the name Grim Sinner, aka Devil Daddy.
Everything you've said for the last 90 seconds must be stricken. It's all horrifying.
Devil Daddy.
Wait, where does an erotic television show air?
It was a parody of a horror television show that was at least softcore pornography, and I think was released on DVD in various very specific rental stores.
I see.
In 2020, Five Finger Death Punch released F8, you know?
Right.
Yeah, just like that, Vin Diesel. It doesn't matter. A little bit off was the first single. In 2022, they re-recorded their first album and released their 9th album, Afterlife, and toured with Megadeth. Then they toured with country bands because it really doesn't matter anymore, and the Heartland likes metal and rap and country music, apparently just all jammed into one. Ask Kid Rock about that. And again, on the plus side, Five Finger Death Punch does do a lot of work for PTSD and TBIs and military veterans. Zoltan, or Zoltar, or whatever his name is part of VetPaw, a veteran-based anti-poaching organization. In July 2023, the video game franchise Call of Duty announced that Zoltan would be a playable character in the game. I'm not sure exactly what that means. Sounds like Stolen Valor to me. And then in January 2024, it was announced that Zoltan had partnered with and acquired a large stake in the Professional Jiu-Jitsu League Professional Grappling Federation. He toured with people like various Gracies and Machados that I am assured are people I should care about. Also Eddie Bravo. That is now on UFC Fight Pass. I do not care about any of this. May you experience peace, but also chaos.
Peace and chaos be unto you as well. Great history, Tim, that is to say, came in under 20 minutes. Wow. I was hoping to
have
care more
information about Eddie Bravo.
No, he featured far more prominently than I ever could have predicted in this episode or that history. Moving on from Eddie Bravo, before we go any further, it really is important that everybody be working from the same set of information. So, here it is, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a taste. You know him, I hate him. Five Finger Death Punch, a little bit off.
I'm a little bit off today. I cannot put my finger on it. Got up
pretty good, right?
No, let's not go that far. I really, honest to goodness, had no idea what in the world was happening when I first listened to this.
That's completely fair, because from what I can tell, this is not their usual style, right? They're usually more nu metal-y. They do that like roar vocal thing. There's some alt metal in here. This is like acoustic post-grunge. There's a vague like Nickelback quality to some of it.
Oh yeah, and there's a little bit of remixing, so like, you know.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's good. We're still nu metaling about just a bit.
Yeah. And I've heard this described online in a variety of ways. Unfortunately, I don't think I can improve on much of this. I've heard it called inauthentic blue-collar rock, cop rock, military wife metal, and red state rock festival music. But the way I think about it, listen, if you go to a shooting range frequented by the Dallas Police Department, like, you're going to hear at least one Five Finger Death Punch song. Probably this is in the mix.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I think that if you look at these guys, right, you can instantly tell, even with the varying styles, so you can still kind of tell what their music is going to sound like. Because Ivan looks like, he is like the embodiment of a late child support payment. And all of their music, it sounds like the musical equivalent of just like growing patchy facial hair, partially covering face tattoos. And just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's, I listened to some of their other songs because this is so strange, and we'll get into what makes it particularly weird in a minute, but the big guitars of nu metal, the very obvious bastardization of real metal, sort of a vague emulation of James Hetfield at times.
Yeah, but also the Nickelback guy.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. It's a tough combination. I listened to like 3 other songs of theirs. I didn't stumble upon any of the that stuff, luckily, but I'm sure it's there.
This is getting pumped up at the gun range music.
Yeah, or having to do something really awful for your country soon.
And again, we're not saying anything bad about the military or...
No, God, no.
I mean, granted, Garrett has fought directly against them on a number of occasions.
No, that's not...
You have guarded certain value targets of the military.
Listen,
in some cases, famously unsuccessfully.
Sometimes it's who you don't protect. It's the job. Listen, there's no reason to split hairs here. It's all getting bleeped. You absolutely cannot say most of the words he just said about what I did or didn't do. Anyway, back to this song, Tim. So listen, it's this weird, nu metal-y, rip-rap rock bullshit. It is post-grunge nonsense, but not Bush post-grunge. It's Nickelback with a dash of hot dog water suitcase. What is that stuff called? Starfish, purple starfish.
Yeah, buttholes and dick water. I gotcha.
Yeah. It's got like a dash of Limp Bizkit, but it's also got the droning of a Nickelback with just a touch of Metallica here and there. But this song in particular is where they slow it down. They play against type. It opens with acoustic guitar, and I am baffled at why anyone would do this on purpose.
Yeah, it's got a very, because again, it has those metal roots, so it comes off as a very Aaron Lewis kind of thing.
Yes.
And that's not good. Aaron Lewis is not what you should be shooting for.
That's the dude from Stained, right?
Yes. He's doing it's like a Bob Roberts almost. But it's like a Phil Oakes or a Pete Seeger, but Republican.
Yeah, okay. Pete Seeger's connecting for me, for sure.
But it's worse. It's like the Night Watchman, but
it's if Aaron Lewis did the Night Watchman.
Yes. And okay, this song here, lyrically, on its surface, this is the equivalent of just like a George is getting upset, right? Like a Jason Alexander, and it seems very petty. But given the context of Ivan Moody's history with women, this is like a domestic abuser anthem.
Oh my God.
It is though, right? Because it's all these like petty things, like this should not be celebrated. This is, I'm white and I'm mad and allegedly I'm gonna take it out on a lady. It's...
Yikes. Just to clarify, for anybody who might be confused, Tim and I, staunchly against hitting women.
Right. That's why we're so against this song. Well, it's not I would be against this song reason. Either way. If this song was a don't hit ladies anthem, I would be against it still.
Sure, but for very different reasons.
Yes. But yeah, listen, just stop writing your song. If your song is I'm white and male and mad, or if it's specifically going to appeal to people that are white and male and mad, and probably, I mean, if Eddie Bravo is any indication, mad specifically about just don't write that song. It's...
Yeah. Nobody cares.
Oh, so many people care so much, Garrett.
Yeah, apparently
I have heard the words scamdemic so many times this week.
Where do they think all the people went?
Garrett, there are 3 options. Okay, there's one. There's the evil scientist. A lot of people believe that. Now, then there's it came from a bat. Okay, obviously not that. And then they just hijacked the flu, man. They just hijacked the flu. I hate him so much. He's a danger.
They just hijacked the flu.
They hijacked the flu, yes.
It's like trying to explain long division to a golden retriever. It's just like there's so many fundamental things that you'd have to explain first. It would have to start with like, what's math? And then go from there. Like, just the sheer ignorance to not even basically understand, like, okay, dude, let's just assume you're right for a second. You don't think there's people out there that could look at it and know that?
He had somebody on that not only claimed that viruses don't exist, those are just... That also claimed the heart does not pump blood, heart attacks are not caused by narrowing blood vessels, cancer is not a genetic disease. God. Yeah.
Right, so
angry.
like, just fundamentally provable things don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Got it. All right. Well, I hate how much we've made this about conspiracy theories once again.
Because here's the thing, I usually love conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I continue to be anti. Back to this song. Let's get into the lyrics. I can't dance around it anymore. He says, God, it's bad. He says, I'm a little bit off today. Something down inside me's different. Woke up a little off today. I can tell that something's wrong. I'm a little thrown off today. There's something going on inside me. I'm a little bit off today, a little bit off today. Sue, taking it fully face value to start. We know this is not it. This is borderline a moody teenager. I just woke up a little off. I'm a little off today. I'm not even angry yet. I'm just off. Just having an off day. Well, don't write that song.
Right.
That's not an interesting song.
And the best thing that this could be about is if they were writing it about their drummer who had to have neck surgery.
Right. If on face value.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man, I woke up, I've got a little crick in my neck and it's kind of irritating.
Yeah, I'm going to get an osteo guy to look at it, but it's definitely something that's been hitting me for a minute. Right. So obviously it's not about that, because who's writing a song about neck pain? Not me. See our new Texas Toast hit. Crick in the neck, crick in the seat. Instead, I got a few theories. I don't think they're going to align very well with yours. First up, what if this song, because it does sound to my ear a great deal like Christian music, what if this song is about Jesus's last day, or more importantly, the day Jesus was crucified, and he woke up and he was like, just got a weird feeling about today. I don't know what it is. Because I haven't read my Bible in a minute, and by my Bible, I mean yours, and by read, I mean hid for my own amusement, but I'm pretty sure at some point JC is just like, someone's going to betray me. So maybe he woke up that morning and was like, yeah, I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm going to end today on top of a cross.
Yeah, Judas has really been eyeballing me the past week. Guy seems extra nervous, you know?
Super whispery. Don't get it. Judas, what's so funny? Not something from earlier inside you. Okay, I don't trust him.
Hey, Gino, he said Judas. Judas.
Let's just go, you know what? Close enough.
Honestly, if it gets his attention.
Yeah, if he does something in response, it's a win. Song continues. There's a weird little remix where he just goes, I'm a little bit off today. A little bit off.
And they could be fun. Like, they could jazz it up, right? Like, I'm a little bit off today. A little bit off. Like, you know what? I'm usually super against record scratches. But if you're record scratching, I'm a little bit off today, a little bit off today.
Yeah, it's missing.
Yeah.
It's missing.
It would at least work better in this context.
It'd really tie the song together. Anyway, song continues. See, I'm a little bit off today. I cannot put my finger on it. Got up a little off today just to play that same old song. I don't really want to try today. I see nothing in my reflection. I'm a little bit dry today. Feel like I could die today. Uh-oh. Tim, what's going on here?
It does add up with your Jesus thing.
Yeah. So first up could be Jesus going, oh boy, I just got this weird feeling I'm going to die on the cross today.
Yeah. It also kind of feels like, I don't know if you've ever been horrifically addicted to something, but occasionally you'll wake up and you haven't done whatever this thing is for a while. Yeah, it could be anything. It could be drugs. It could be alcohol. It could be,
caffeine.
Going out at night in West Campus and just, doing the thing that makes you feel like God. The point is, you'll resist whatever your thing is for a while. And then every once in a while, you'll wake up in the morning and just be like, I'm going to fucking do it today. It might be food, right? Like, you're on a diet and you're going to be like, today I'm going to eat all the cake. And you just know it from the second you wake up. You're just like, no, I'm not doing that shit today. I'm going to strangle that cake.
Alternate theory, because yours is troubling. What if this is about a gentleman who purposely was transformed into a vampire, and he's a few days or weeks into the process, and he's like, you know what? Starting to made me think I don't want this.
Yeah.
Woke up a little off, not entirely sure what it is. Then he says he's like, God, I really don't want to like hunt for my food today. Can't see, there's nothing in his reflection. Said he woke up a bit dry today. And now, Tim, that made me wonder, is this how vampires say they're hungry? Oh, I'm so dry. You know, because they got to get it wet with the blood.
Okay, let's not say that.
What? It's vampire talk.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, that all makes sense to me, right?
Yeah, lines up. And maybe they're possibly tired of constantly having to avoid famed vampire hunter Blade, and they're worried that he might get the drop on them today.
Do you think, I would assume he would go after all the newbies first. It's just low-hanging fruit.
You would imagine, because, you know, even if they've got supernatural powers, which I think in the Blade universe they do, you don't know how to use them yet.
Oh, sure, yeah, you start flying and all of a sudden you're moving like a half inch above the ground at shockingly high speeds, just dragging your face along the ground. It's horrible. You don't know.
What if you half transform into a bat?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you're just dragging your head on the cobblestone floor as the rest of your bat body flaps 2 feet above the ground. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Or what if you just get the wings? The rest of you is just a human man. Those things aren't going to lift shit.
Oh, yeah. Now you don't have those arms anymore.
Oh, God. Song continues. Oh, a little more. I'm a little bit off today. Feel like I could die today.
Again, if you just did it with record scratches, this is the only time I will ever suggest them.
It does still continue to feel like Christian music to me. So this could be a crucifixion, could be murdered by Blade, or it could just be somebody who's having like an off day. I'm just a little off today. This is why I say Christian music, because it sounds like worship and praise. It sounds like a praise chorus, Tim. Mm-hmm. A phrase I wish I didn't know. Because then it just kicks in with the...
I just want to say this. I fucking hate this chorus.
It's horrid. It's rare I write a note like this because it doesn't translate. It's not useful. It doesn't forward the progression of the conversation. But my notes literally say, this is world music bullshit. I find this to be terrible.
Yep.
I wrote that out for me later.
So that you wouldn't forget. I'm a little pissed off today, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm a little put off today, and I could not tell you why. Got a really short fuse today. Everyone around me's fucking crazy. I'm a little ticked off today, a little pissed off today. This is what makes me think, right? Listen, I'm mad, and this wife of mine, this sister of mine, and this goddamn mother of mine won't shut the fuck up. I'm gonna fight them. Today's the day I'm gonna fight all three of them.
It's really disturbing knowing that he has a history of abuse towards women, which again, gotta re-stress. Lowest of the low.
Yeah.
Tim and I don't stand for it. But the phrasing, Tim, I'm a little pissed off today. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm so much bigger than you. It's not even gonna be close.
Yeah.
Got a really short fuse today. This is the language of somebody that is just looking to blame somebody for their poor behavior. Hey, Tim, just a heads up. I have a really short fuse today, so don't fucking push it. Okay, good morning to you. That is not how you greet people.
Garrett, I drank the last of the coffee.
That's okay. I'm just going to sit here, quietly brew a fresh pot, and then roll it in your face. And it's your fault because I've got a short fuse today, and I told you that.
Right. And here's the thing. So this was written approximately, or at least it came out approximately 2 years after he got sober, presumably.
Okay.
So if anything, it's memorializing it. So I'm reading this as like I don't drink anymore. I have no excuse to hit women, but God, I loved hitting women. And so I'm gonna write this song about how great it was when I had a really good excuse.
Or maybe, okay, I'm gonna give you two more examples or two more scenarios. One is, hey, I finally got my life together. I'm not drinking anymore. The deal is though, you can't fucking push me, Sheila. You can't push me because I'm not drinking anymore to cope with it. I'll strike you.
I love that. Listen, so it's one of two things, right? I am on the edge because I'm not drinking. And if you fucking say a thing, I'm gonna do one of the two things I love more than anything else. I'm either going to drink or I'm going to punch your dumb face.
God. And again, this is for parody. We do not believe these things, but it does seem like this is the actions of this person.
Yes.
Or let's go silver lining. We're being so negative on a show called Why I Hate This Album. Let's be positive. What if this is him using his words? Rather than striking a woman because she drank all the coffee that she did not know that you were going to want, what if he just says, I am upset cut today. If I am short with you, it is because I have a short fuse. And he's just going to use his words, right?
If I'm short with you, it's because I have a short fuse and you're kind of a bitch.
I don't know. Let's keep going. Here's where things get kind of... Oh, before... This is very interesting. I think it's at like figure it out, listeners. I think it's somewhere between 137 and 149. There is a version of the In the Air Tonight drums, the...
Oh, yeah.
And so it's somewhere in there, 137 to 149, roughly. Go listen. It's ridiculous. Anyway, then we get into, I told a little white lie today. I smiled and told someone I loved them. I had to say goodbye today to someone that I love. I couldn't even cry today. I think my heart is finally broken. Didn't need a reason why today. I don't need a reason why today. Oof.
Yeah, so this is why I think, like, he's white-knuckling his addiction, and his addiction's not alcohol, Garrett. His addiction's punching ladies.
Oh my God. There's no 12 steps for that. I don't think. Listeners, write in heypodmail@gmail.com is there Punching Ladies Anonymous.
But yeah, like, right, he's lying. He just, I love you too, honey.
I'm having such a good time. I didn't have the urge to strike you at all. Oh God.
Yeah, he is just lying and pretending. He's
over his addiction of striking women.
Right.
That's horrible.
And then I think he relapses in the bridge, right? I got a little too high today, got lost inside a sea of madness, crashed a little bit hard today, crashed a little too hard today. Everybody sing. So I think he's not talking about drugs today, right? His high, the thing that he, again, allegedly,
Goodness
and also
gracious.
this is a fictional character that is not in any way related to this band. His drug, Garrett, punching.
Can we say punching people? Does it have to be ladies?
Sure. I'm sure he's hit many men.
Good
Also.
Lord. Why would anyone write a song celebrating this? I mean, the band is called Five Finger Death Punch.
Right.
It does seem to glamorize violence, but only against the weak and defenseless.
Named after a lady punching a man once, which is, I guess maybe that's ironic.
Right. Throw everyone off the scent. You know, there's no better punch than the unexpected and defenseless one, right? Somebody once said that.
Yeah. It's your thing about the
punching people while they're sleeping.
We did know. Who was that? It was that blonde kid.
Yeah,
Maybe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the scenario was. I don't know who the other person was, but he was very slighted and he waited until somebody fell asleep. He broke into their bedroom and he punched them and ran.
God, that is terrifying. Like I think that's more, I've always been scared that someone's going to attack me while I'm on the toilet because you're just so vulnerable, but I think sleeping's worse.
No, toilet's worse, Garrett.
We'll see.
Imagine this. Imagine you're asleep and I start fighting you, right?
Okay.
You're going to wake up, you're going to be real mad, but you're going to be ready to go. You're going to be fighting. Now, imagine that you're at a
just
urinal.
got done with some pasta Mardi Gras.
Oh, even better. No, imagine you're at a urinal, right? Like you have a tiny bladder, so you're often at a urinal. Now, you're standing there, you're peeing, and I just kick you in the back of the knees so that you just land right on your back. You're still peeing.
Or worse, face first into that urinal.
That works too.
You kick somebody in the back of the knees, suddenly you're in a Mission Impossible Henry Cavill style fight with a face full of piss.
Absolutely. And I mean, imagine this, Garrett, because like you've seen Eastern Promises, right? You once fell asleep in Eastern Promises. So I have actually fought you while you were asleep. I was punching you so that you would wake up to witness the bathhouse fight, I guess. The two I mean, there was swinging balls, Garrett. It was
confusing to be punched awake in the arm for you to go check that out. I believe your exact words were, "You're missing it." God, so confused you had removed me and put me into a gay pornography theater to watch some sort of gay man fight.
But imagine the gay man fight that you were in, but also you've got just your own feces all over you. That's much worse than being asleep.
Okay, would I rather be attacked while sleeping or while pooping? Probably sleeping. Am I going to be in a better position to defend myself? Probably while pooping.
No.
I'm very disoriented when I wake up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
There are
and I got all that poop.
Okay, you can't use the poop as a weapon.
You cannot tell me what to do with my own feces.
In conversation. That's how it works, folks.
That is how it works, folks.
Lull him into saying something horrible.
God damn it. Alrighty. Just a little bit off today. You can all fuck off today. Great. Let's get to the music video, and what a surprise it was.
Oh, yeah. It starts off with some dumb meta shit about how COVID is preventing them from making the video they're currently actively making, and I hate them.
I will be complimentary-ish. So we open with a black screen with some white text like it's an art film, but it comes off much more like an SNL digital short that it resembles, but whatever. We open with a minute-long skit with a band member by the pool.
I think that's Zoltan.
Yeah.
I think.
One of the two. Still remains unclear which one. One is a genie from Big. The other might be a member of this band. Either way, gross, long, white guy dreads. And he's texting by the pool that they can't shoot the video due to the pandemic.
He's a corn bassist.
Yeah, it's gross. It's so gross. Okay.
And listen,
so
if you look like this, we're not talking about you.
No, of course not. You get it.
If you're
doing
this
it
guy,
ironically or
we're not talking about you either.
That's right. We're just talking about the guy in the music video that be played by you.
Right.
That looks like
I hate him so much. Yeah, he's sitting by the pool. He's texting about how they can't do the video because COVID.
God, you got to stop saying that word. Pandemic.
Plandemic. Scamdemic, Garrett.
Yeah, that should do it. Officially not getting into any search algorithms. Take that, findability. Anyway, okay, so they're saying, hey, we can't make the music video. We got this whole pandemic happening. And then they do it anyway. This is where the compliments coming, Tim. I thought it was a good idea to cut between what they wanted to do in storyboards and what they could actually do due to the quite diminished production value of being very not in the same place.
Yes.
I thought that was a good idea.
Sure, I will say this. I don't want to watch either one of the music videos. What they plan to do seems dumb, and what they did do seems dumb.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Full stop. But unfortunately, we have to deal with it. So we start with the lead singer at 8 a.m. getting out of bed while we cut between Dread's guy playing, I guess it's supposed to be chess with the Angel of Death. And he is the angel of something?
I don't know. Yeah, and they have the cards that are explaining what they couldn't do. It's some sort of like epic angels and demons storyboard thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But they don't really ever realize that. So instead, we just see the lead singer wandering around a very hot-looking black and white Las Vegas and half-heartedly lip-syncing.
Yes. He's also wearing a hat that he keeps taking off and putting back on as if he is unsure if he should have worn it, and spoiler alert, he should not have. It is terrible.
It's so hot.
Yeah.
It's so hot. And Las Vegas is so gross. There's no production value. It's all fucking pavement and buildings. It's disgusting. The part that did make me legitimately laugh out loud is at one point he looks contemplatively up at the fake Statue of Liberty and the US flag like, man, what's it all for? And I was just like, hey man, that's a casino. The fuck are you doing?
No,
What's
but
happening
it's actually
right now?
probably a better metaphor, but they're
Well,
also
sure.
referenced, did you see the FNN reference?
No. What's FNN?
So it was essentially like a CNN kind of...
Oh no, God. Really? It's more scam bullshit.
It's fake news network, Garrett. I'm 90% sure that's what this is. Because again, these guys are friends with Eddie Bravo, which I assume means, you know...
What a fun and interesting world they must live in, where everything's black bag and espionage and there's all these secret cabals instead of like a bunch of bureaucrats just pushing things through the system.
I have some bad news for you about where the secret cabals lead, Garrett.
Oh, it's more of those like Rocket Pizza or whatever, right?
Sort of.
Adrenochrome or
yeah, sort of.
whatever that was.
He believes in all of that, Garrett, but it goes straight back to Israel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Anyway, then Ivan gets back in bed and sings for a bit in bed before turning the lights off at 8 p.m. So he is awake for exactly 12 hours every day.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the only way he can stay sober.
Yeah, maybe.
Everything bad happened to
happens.
him after 8 p.m. and before 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Listen, whatever keeps you sober, my guy, because obviously the drinking wasn't working, but let me give you some free advice. If you're still wearing the white bowler hat and Raiders jersey you were wearing in this music video,
it was an FFDP jersey made to look like a Raiders jersey.
Raiders, please sue them. God damn it. Although,
I don't
listen,
think
they may not be
the...
making any money.
Oh, they're
I don't
money.
know.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
well,
they're doing
okay, so why did their drummer quit the band to go become a reserve Indiana policeman?
He quit for neck pain reasons. He had to have neck surgery. And then he did that police/pornography a thing.
Oh, right. That's a big slash.
Not if you're doing it right.
Who moves to Indiana on purpose?
I don't know that he moved to Indiana. You remember when your buddy...
Don't say Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal, there it is.
God damn it. Stop calling him my buddy.
Was a like Louisiana sheriff or something? He didn't really live there. He lived in fucking Russia.
That was before he
Just
moved to
came
Russia.
into film.
No, it was before he moved to Russia, although the later seasons he might have moved to Russia already. God, also, stop calling him... Listen, I shouldn't have been able to call that. You gotta stop calling him my buddy. Like, on the show, off the show, in paperwork you fill out. We don't know each other. Well, okay, that's not true. We're not friends.
Hunt him, then.
I'm not gonna hunt him.
All right.
God, I'd love to, though. Okay, Tim, how did this do?
Really well, actually. It is certified platinum in the U.S. This song has sold at least 1 million copies. It hit number 8 on the U.S. Hot Rock and Alternative Billboard chart, number 22 in Canada, number 6 in the Czech. Unclear how the Dutch feel about it, but based on my intimate knowledge of the Dutch, they like it.
Interesting. Now, we have already left talking about the song, but I'm just curious. Vocally, on this song, does he fall closer to I'm on the outside or yeah?
I think the former.
For you. Okay, interesting. I think I hear more yeah than I do Aaron Lewis, but maybe that's just me. Listen, to each his own. I was just curious.
I think Aaron Lewis is a cop now too, maybe.
What?
I don't know.
Everybody's police now. Alrighty, that's how it did shockingly well. What did people think of it? And please don't tell me there's a Christ Scout review.
There is not. There are 423 ratings, 4.9 out of 5 stars on average, 90% 5 stars, 0% 1 star, and none of them are interesting. So I went to YouTube, Garrett, where they do get interesting.
Okay.
Point number 1, there's a man named Ivan Moody 1946 responding to a bunch of these comments as if he was Ivan Moody. I don't know why. No one seemed to be fooled by it.
Interesting.
The first one is by Howlurk from 10 months ago. Howlurk says, "Hi, I've written a song that America needs to hear, but I cannot sing. Can you sing it for America?" The song is called Our American Tapestry, and I will read it for you now.
Jesus.
God bless America. Now don't just stand there and stare. We have to take care of her. That's an honor we all share. From sea to shining sea, a question we explore. How does a nation crumble? You divide it to the core. Whispers on the wind, a poison spreading its hold, turning us against each other, stories bought and sold. Divided we falter, an easy target to see, but united we stand as the land of the free. Voices we don't obey, stand strong together, lighting up a brighter way. Divided we falter, but that won't be our fate, because together we are the land of the great. Hashtag Our American Tapestry.
Like, okay, I don't want to be mean, but there's only one way to interpret that comment. That person has the same magical thinking as a 7-year-old and thinks that perhaps if I put my whole song on here in the comments, someone, possibly Five Finger Death Punch, will see it and make it a song, a hit single? Is that the thinking?
If it helps, it became a poem on a podcast. Is that success?
It's, okay, here's a truly mind-blowing fact. Tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, again, we don't check the numbers anymore. Tens of thousands, if not at least 100,000 people are going to hear that guy's fucking poem.
Yes. Congratulations, that guy.
I might edit out of it. I might edit some of it out of spite.
That's fair. Cyanotic Future 7 months ago. FYI, the lockdowns, mandates, etc. have largely been deemed illegal, unconstitutional, arbitrary, and oppressive by not just American courts, but courts in other nations as well. Spain, for one. They deemed it
Spain
unconstitutional.
What? Spain has deemed it against the U.S. Constitution.
Yes. Tobias D. 3611 1 month ago, and I will admit part of this is in German. Ich liebe diesen Song. Es gibt so Tage. Grüße from old dirty Germany.
What's old dirty Germany?
I don't know.
Tim?
The comment is, I love this song. There are days like that. Greetings from old dirty Germany. And apparently he couldn't translate old dirty Germany into German.
Interesting. That's the most interesting part of that review. Listeners, write in. Have you been to old dirty Germany?
I think it's the East. Valerie Ramirez 4109 2 years ago. Yeah, I'm a little bit off today. The universe works in mysterious ways. God bless y'all.
I think I like Five Finger Death Punch more than that person.
Sean Matthew Kelly 9395, again 2 years ago. This song describes the pissing contest with a male staff member at Junction City over a beautiful Latin woman's attention. I would like to give him some attention as he is a young pup and needs to learn discipline and respect.
What's Junction City?
I don't know.
It sounds like, what's that shitty amusement park outside of Disneyland? Like Smucker's Park or whatever?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that called? Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah.
I wonder if Junction City is like a lower grade Knott's Berry Farm. Either way, why is this guy writing a comment about his workplace disagreements and desire over a Spanish woman in the Five Finger Death Punch comment section? It's just
I don't know.
so specific.
RISU 5866 from 9 months ago. I literally just flatlined 6 days ago. My brain is, well, shit's not working. Anyways, yeah, this song works for a lot of stuff. God bless Five Finger. Our vets and our men and women in the medical field who also all too often go without any credit or recognition, and especially to those folks in the ER with me earlier this week. Thank you. I don't
understand how this is so like pro armed services.
Oh yeah. Well, Jack Mulligan 5830. Thank you 5FDP for getting us through the pandemic. I don't really.
What'd they do?
I don't know. Shanoa Goodenough 4197 1 year ago. Haha, have loved it the day it came out. I've been struggling every day since. Bachelor degree in early childhood education, aka daycare. Don't get paid enough, but everyone else can work thanks to us.
Okay.
Lisa Tomasi 8 months ago. This is the last one, and this is my favorite one. Good work. Hope you become famous.
Ooh, a little bit of spice. Take that, FFDP.
Yeah.
That last lady complaining about her wage disparity. That, like, hey, Susie, you want to go out for drinks? We're going to Chili's after work. Oh, I can't. I've got to get onto Google, pull up the old YouTubes, and then I'm going to make some comments about how much I don't get paid for a Five Finger Death Punch song.
Yeah.
What?
Hope you become famous.
No, not that. The lady who's bitching about her work. It's so strange.
Maybe she is the Latin woman in Junction City.
Maybe. I wish you had looked up Junction City. I'm curious. Alrighty. Well, those were comments. I don't know if we'll say they were good comments, but they were comments nonetheless. That's how it did. That's how people think of it. Who's this for?
Military veterans?
Military veterans, write in. hatepodmail@gmail.com. We love you. You guys are some of the funniest people that write in.
Gino sometimes writes you handwritten letters in basic training, so you owe us. Do you love this song?
Interesting. Yeah. Are you guys into this? And if so, why? Is it situationally specific? Like, do you have to be getting shot at to enjoy this? I can fire bullets at Tim and have him listen again.
Well, I was going to say you probably get shot at a lot, but I don't think that's the case.
Not if I do it right. Alrighty. That brings us to final thoughts, Tim. What did we learn?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, I learned a lot about things that weren't this song. I learned a lot of false information this week. I'll say that.
You know what I learned? I learned that people who are fans of things are more than willing to overlook egregious acts of violence because they just like what you do.
But probably not against them specifically. Like, for example, somebody that likes this show doesn't seem to step in when you slap me, but if you were to slap one of our listeners, that listener would probably be pretty pissed.
Absolutely. Difference here is that you deserve the slaps. This gentleman should never put his hands on ladies.
Fair enough.
Alrighty. Tim, do you hate this?
Yes, I still hate this. What about you, friend? Do you?
Absolutely. Can't stand it. Alrighty. That brings us to listener mail. Do you want to go first or should I?
Well, assuming that I took the mail you have, I of course would like to go first.
Yeah, and I will assume you did.
This is from Benjamin Ben Craig Frost. Craig is in quotes. It is titled, The Benadryl Walrus Made Me.
Made me do it.
Oh, I didn't copy that down.
God damn it.
Dearest Michael and Garrett, it is I, Benjamin Ben Frost. I have unimaginative parents. I'm writing this email to y'all to formally apologize for my recent actions on Instagram. In my defense, I was on about 20 Benadryl and 3 Ambien, and the Hat Man and Walrus told me to do the things that I did. But I am here now to say I'm sorry. But don't fret, my pretty little boy toys, because I have no memory of the location of your residence due to the amount of Benadryl and Ambien I was on, and will not be able to remember unless I do twice the amount amount I did in the first place, which will not be happening due to the things whispered to me by the Jesus in the walls. In the way of music recommendations, I recommend Modern Baseball Sports. I personally love it, but I feel that y'all won't. As well, I think that you should experiment with some into more obscure and awful and wonderful genres like screamo, slam, breakcore, folk punk, and hardcore punk. If you wish for recommendations, I shall provide them upon Michael's behest on Instagram. Finally, I think it would be an interesting idea to do mini episodes where you listen to 4 to 5 songs and give your general thoughts on them without doing a deep dive into the lyrics and history. It could really help expand the reach of the podcast. Me and Wall Jesus and the Hat Man and the Benadryl Walrus sincerely hope that you accept our apology and we can continue our relationship far into the future. Peace and chaos be upon you. Benjamin Ben quote-unquote Craig Frost. P.S. I have not been able to find the feed, so I've had my associates install my own feed to be able to get the full Why I Hate This Album podcast experience and also see all the footsie y'all play under the table during recordings. Also,
gross.
Happy 5th birthday, Yogi, the better pod dog. Dog off!
Dog off! No! Hey, Gino, it's a dog off! Gino, we got a dog off! Dog off! Yeah, Batman is a lovely and sweet boy and is the best doggy ever, so fuck off, Craig.
No.
Fuck you too.
No.
Excellent email. That was, of course, my email. And knowing that you were going to steal my email, I have several other emails. But let's talk about this one. First of all, the consistent misspelling of Michael is hilarious.
Yeah. Also, I like that Instagram is catching on.
I hate that. I hate anytime all of your wordplay is garbage.
That's not
Your
wordplay.
I don't know
That's
what
a
to call
stutter.
it. Ah, I see.
Sorry,
I
a
apologize
stammer.
then. That's true. It is more of a stammer. Yeah, your Prepisodes and your Instagram, and there's another one you do that drives me crazy that people love. I don't understand why you exist. Alrighty, great email. Let's see, is there anything else in there? I don't know, don't take so many Ambien, and don't take that many Ambien and leave your house.
Yes, don't refer to us as boy toys.
Yeah, and to be really clear, Tim and I's feet never touch, ever. We never touch, except for when he demands a hug because he's sad.
Occasionally touch Garrett's bare foot with my bare foot, and I have never drawn my foot back with such horror. It's claw-like. It feels like there's a history to it. Like, it feels like those were planted in the ground. Like, those saw the pilgrims come to this nation.
Has the wisdom of an old oak.
Yes, they're horrible.
Yes. Yeah, listen, Tim says a lot of disparaging things that I constantly have to clean up here on the show. This isn't one of them. My feet are very utilitarian. That is to say, bleeding.
Yes, they get you there not well. Garrett, what second email did you get?
Let's see. For my first email this evening, I will begin with an email from somebody simply named I.O. And the email is more of a flyer, a digital flyer, if you will. And the flyer reads, "The Voluntary Human Extinction Movement. May we live long and die out. Phasing out the human species by voluntarily ceasing to breed will allow Earth's biosphere to return to good health. Crowded conditions and resource shortages will improve as we become less dense." So that on its own is very funny. There's also a website. I think it's literally vhem.org, but definitely Google that. Don't just go to whatever I just said. I think it's VHEMT, the Voluntary Human Extinction Movement. I don't know why there's a T, but I think there is.
Google the things. We'll bleep out what he said. Just Google the voluntary bit.
You don't have to bleep it out. Just don't go there. But anyway, if you Google this is a real thing, or at least a real website with terrible graphics. And the whole thing looks like it was made in 2002. But there's a whole FAQ that drew my attention because they've categorized all of the different questions people ask about this voluntary death plan. And under the politics section, here's some of the questions that people might have when they stumble upon the voluntary human extinction movement. Question the first. Didn't Hitler have the same ideas?
Yes.
Second question. Does VMEHT support China's one-child policy?
Yes.
Question 3. Should human migration be controlled to help Earth's ecosystem?
No. Just killed.
And finally, maybe my favorite, although the Hitler one's pretty funny, what about our right to breed? God. Yeah, so that's just like a few of the dozens of questions on their website. It's ridiculous. Highly recommend.
All right.
Okie dokie. My next email, and I've got a few good ones. We'll end with this one because there's some recommendations here. Brennan, he wrote in with why I hate this movie, Wild Hogs.
Let's do this next week.
That's not what we had planned, Tim.
Well, we gotta still get the hopper. I can still write that on a white ball and toss it in that hopper.
Get it in the hopper. Get it in that GD hopper. All right. Brennan writes, hey, Garrett, accomplice of the WCS, Mr. Hortle, Harvey, and Rimjob T. Richardson. Oh, God.
I don't like that.
And Rimjob Richardson. I don't know. It does have a nice balance to it.
It sounds great. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
I know what those words mean.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. I think it's time to clear things up. I am the same guy as Trashfire.jpg, and I have a sordid history with you boys. I was the praise be to Tom guy, and I originally called Timmy Boy Tom, long before Tom B. Rady showed up.
No
Liquid
idea
Snake
what
and
any
I
of this is.
I don't, yeah, this guy's just talking in gibberish. Liquid Snake and I reconnected and have been getting into some classic T&G activities. I really don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. About the ACL molestation story. What? It just proves Tim is a slender boy.
Oh, no, I was molested at ACL accidentally. The guy that he kept trying
not
to find...
accidentally.
Well,
He's
sure,
kept grabbing your dick and shit.
All right.
He's just shoving his fist up your butt. That wasn't very accidental. It looked pretty purposeful. Anyway,
Well, we
that
believed
guard
some
really
of that.
needed to cop a feel, and did. Just like that greasy car wash massage guy. Jimmy!
Yeah.
This guy has been listening for a
Massages
while.
by Jimmy. Oh, yeah. I
Guess
know
what,
exactly who
Tim?
this guy is. What?
This is Jimmy. He's going to be rubbing you. Huh?
I love how that story turned into that actually happening when this is the story. We saw Massages by Jimmy. I said, I'm going to get that for you. And you said, hold that thought. And then you told everyone that I got Massages by Jimmy.
Anyway, after Tim's massage.
Right, which I
email
love.
continues. Right. Email continues. Strangers love feeling up your butch little friend, G-Dog. I wouldn't call you that, Butch. Please, for the love of God, review Wild Hogs. I actually got to visit the tiny town they visit in the movie and saw some of the locations.
This guy
love
loves
Wild
Wild Hogs.
Yeah, I love Wild Hogs and need some more Tim content. Okay. I want to hear about the Brotherhood. Interesting. I actually know numerous Tims and occupy a Timbassador position in the community. Interesting. Honestly, half the fun of writing to you guys is getting to hear you react to the names I give you. As for the RGSSO title for Timberly, it means Most Respected Gentleman of the Soft Serve Order. It's pretty good. And I won't tell you what it means, but John Soft Serve was involved. Okay.
Everything you're saying is probably really gross.
Yeah, probably. It seems like you're talking about a bunch of gross stuff that we're not into, but whatever. Apple juice is more of a gentle fingering in the shower. It just says that in quotes. I don't know what that means. Smoking the pipe is like French kissing an old man that tastes like tobacco and vanilla, but the dab pen is like being anally probed by aliens.
You probably believe some of this, right?
Yeah, man. You're losing me in the end here. But listen, we really appreciate the email, Brennan. Most of it was great. Got a little weird in the middle. That's all right. Back to the most important reason I included this. I read the title and didn't read the email. Might not have included that part. Yeah, it's pretty gross. Wild Hogs, Tim. Been a minute since we did a movie.
I mean, Wild Hogs seems like the natural place to go after Zack Snyder, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's certainly a palate cleanser.
Yeah, the few movies we have done, I've consistently forgotten to do this. We need to have a bit where we go to IMDb's parental, suggestions or parental, where they describe the bad things in the movie.
Right.
Because it's like
48-year-old
women in 2003 who are just like, I'm going to describe this sex scene. And it's real gross.
It's so graphic. I love the ones that are just not, they're scenes that I've seen in movies 100 times and I'm like, I don't know that this is sexual in any way. And then you read the description, outline of penis seen in wind shorts. And you're just like, wait.
It was
what?
sexual.
No, it's just like, you guys are just looking for pains.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That's your email. That's my email. That's all the emails. It's time for music news of the weird. Would you like to go first or should I begin?
Obviously, I want to go first, Garrett.
God damn you. Fine. Don't fuck it up.
In K-Way may be done with anti-Semitism, but anti-Semitism isn't quite done with K-Way news this week. K-Way has declared he's done with anti-Semitism after 3 years of being apparently pro-Nazi, after people got pissed off about that Heil Hitler song that he had released from a forthcoming album, which will be entitled Cuck. Jesus Christ. That song has been removed from all streaming services with one exception. Care to guess what that is, Garrett?
What's the German Spotify?
Elon Musk's X. Correct. Oh. You got it in one. I love all people, the rapper wrote on the platform. In another post, he said, God forgive me for all the pain I've caused, adding, I forgive those who cause me pain, with the implicit suggestion being, therefore, I have done no wrong. A pop-up choir, though, has since been spotted on Hollywood's Walk of Fame. Unclear if they are affiliated with K-Way in some way. It has been alleged, but I don't think it's been confirmed. Anyway, this choir was hanging out on the Hollywood Walk of Fame singing the song and chanting Heil Hitler in his honor, I guess. According to Complex.com's news division, quote, the group eventually migrated to Buffalo Wild Wings after being kicked out. Delightful.
What a strange secondary location.
Absolutely. Garrett, news, go.
I mean, can we just take a moment to acknowledge that presumably Kanye West hired a choir to sing Heil Hitler, and that guy's still allowed to just be out and about?
Well, right. We still all want to know what the rest of that Cuck album sounds like.
God damn it. It's like he's fucking parodying himself.
Who knows what he's doing? He's...
yeah, I really don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I know exactly what he's doing.
No,
he's having a pretty consistent, slow degrading of his mental health.
He might be having some sort of temporal lobe seizures as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know.
God region. Garrett, what other news do you have?
Well, Tim, we've been out for a couple of weeks, so it's time to catch up on a little segment that I'd like to feature every week called Diddy Watch. Diddy Watch. Diddy Watch.
Diddy Watch.
Actually, you know what? I liked yours. Diddy Watch. Folks, I don't know if you've heard. The stuff P. Diddy was into, kind of gross. Also, sounds like he is a horrible person. Yes. Just in case anybody wasn't ready for this. So here we go. Several people testified. A lot of evidence has been released. Here's a recap. We begin with personal assistant David James, who testified that Combs had him stock hotel rooms with Viagra, condoms, baby oil, and lubricant, among much other supplies, ahead of any time he would stay at the hotel. He also recounted how Combs had 3 handguns on his lap as they drove to a Los Angeles diner looking for his record industry rival Death Row Records co-founder Suge Knight. Let me just pause right there. Why 3?
Oh, I don't know.
That seems weird, right?
Yeah.
Just more clips.
Yeah.
But anyway, also, like, you're a bajillionaire. Why are you hunting people with a gun? At the very least, pay somebody.
No, I think if you're a bajillionaire, you want to... I mean, that's part of the joy, right? Of having that much money is to be able to hunt a human and get away with it.
Yeah, but I think you have the human brought to you. You got to really control the situation.
That's true. Maybe have him hobbled or something.
Oh, yeah. Cut one of those Achilles?
Oh, God. I mean, yes.
What did you mean? Anyway, continuing on, of course, a lot of the testimony has centered around the somewhat nonstop and almost unbelievable abuse that what now ex-girlfriend and possibly wife, Cassie, had to contend with. Part of the testimony was Cassie's mother, who had to send Diddy $20,000 when Diddy learned that she was now with Kid Cudi, and he threatened to release sex tapes of her if he was not quote-unquote reimbursed.
Yeah, but in his defense, you definitely tried to charge me $20,000 for that time that I did a solo cast with Kid Cudi.
Yeah, and?
Oh, my point is, that seems to be the going rate for hanging out with that guy.
Right, but they were dating. You betrayed our business arrangement.
Sure.
Anyway, so here's what's really crazy is she paid him. And then like a couple weeks later, I think 2 weeks later, Cassie got back with Diddy and Diddy wired the money back to her mother.
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck, dude?
All the things you can say about the Diddy daddy, he's a fair businessman.
No, I don't think you can.
He honors
but whatever.
Contracts.
Ugh. Anyway, where was I? One of the last witnesses to testify this week as of our recording was Frederic Zemmour, the general manager of Les Hermitage Beverly Hills was in California. He revealed that Combs's guest profile at the hotel noted, quote, always spills candle wax on everything and uses excessive amounts of oil. The profile instructed staff to, quote, place the room out of order immediately after departure for a deep cleaning and be sure to authorize an extra $1,000 deposit when the guest stays to cover room damages.
I mean, it sounds like that's probably not enough, though.
No, it really doesn't. To clean up a bunch of jizz and fucking baby oil.
And candle wax.
Yeah, that's gotta be maddening. You just fucking get a new bed, please, for all of us. If all that wasn't enough, Tim, they also released photos from the raid of his mansion, and you can see in the photos that I looked at, the things that I noted. Boxes upon boxes of ladies' shoes. So many boxes of ladies' shoes. It's fucking strange. Packages of crotchless body stockings and knee-high socks, as well as like straight up murdering rope, strangling rope as you might know it.
Yeah.
And handcuffs, not playful fun handcuffs, real ones with like real keys. 2 dildos just sitting casually on a shelf next to a very large container of Vaseline and Astroglide lube. And the feds found strawberry and green apple flavored BJ Blast oral sex candy. I don't know what that sentence is. And a wireless vibrator, as well as plenty of drugs, including something called Golden Teacher magic mushroom pill capsules, various other pills of different, like, dude, just like, it looks like the 70s, like little bags of like, here's some blue meanies and some like yellow stingers, like drugs I haven't even seen in the real world. Marijuana, a white powdery substance.
Oh, you've seen marijuana.
No, I'm talking about the weird little bags.
Oh, gotcha.
And then he also had packets of something called Vital Honey VIP, a Malaysian's erectile dysfunction supplement.
Oh, you know that includes ground up endangered species.
Oh, yeah, it's full of pangolins. It's just ground up fire ants. Let's see.
They just hijacked the flu.
Scamdemic. Also, there appeared to be several handguns and an Uzi submachine gun, as well as several parts of a rifle and hollow point bullets. So that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Good luck, Diddy. So that's going to conclude this week's Diddy Watch. That was a double dose of Diddy Watch. Next week, it will be half as much Diddy Daddy. Back to you, Tim. What else you got?
In aeroplane news this week.
I was hoping to do this one.
Brittany apparently forgot that it is no longer 1982 when she lit up a cigarette on a flight to Cabo San Lucas. She was admonished for her behavior by the quote-unquote alarmed flight crew, mostly upon landing, but then she posted about the incident on Instagram the next day saying, "Some planes I've been on you can't smoke, mostly, but this one was different because the drink holders were on the outside of seat. Space, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark," which is how she's going to end all her sentences. Confession, it was my first time drinking vodka. Untrue. I swear I felt
43-year-old woman.
I swear I felt so smart. I was like, wow, what the heck is in there? I felt so clear and smart, and I said, I want a cigarette so bad. My friend put it in my mouth and lit it up for me, so I was like, oh, so this is a plane where you can smoke.
Wow.
She went on to criticize one of the flight attendants, saying, she wouldn't let me get out of my seat and I wanted to stand up. She acted weird about making sure I sat down, and it was weird. I didn't like the way she put the seatbelt on me and invaded my space. Now, Garrett, some fun facts about smoking on airplanes. Ralph Nader was the first person to suggest we ban smoking on airplanes in 1969. United created the first non-smoking section in 1971. Before that, apparently, you could smoke wherever. Cigars and pipes were banned in the U.S. in 1976, but cigarettes are still fine. Smoking was then banned and then subsequently unbanned in 1984, then banned on domestic flights under 2 hours in 88, domestic flights less than 6 hours in 1990. Delta was the first airline to ban smoking on all flights in 1994, and the U.S. banned smoking on all domestic international flights in 2000. 2000! Coincidentally, because they were concerned that Ralph Nader would win the presidency and bend us all to his unreasonable will. But it has actually caused some problems, not just the shitty air quality. In 1930, 1937, a flight from Moscow to Prague crashed after a passenger lit a cigarette in the airplane bathroom and jet fuel fumes caught fire.
Good Lord.
In 1973, the FAA banned smoking in airport lavatories after somebody threw a cigarette down a toilet, which apparently just has a direct connection to the fuel tank. And then smoke detectors were put in bathrooms in 1983 after an Air Canada flight crashed following a lavatory fire of undetermined origin.
Good Lord. Dude, I for sure was on at least 2 flights in my early childhood that were smoking.
Oh, I was on a ton of them because like flying from Saudi Arabia and back, like the long international flights, because they started it out, right? They banned it domestically under 2 hours because in 1988, that was like the longest anyone could like make it without
Go
smoking.
without cigarette.
Yeah, Jesus.
God, that's so crazy.
Yeah, insane that it was ever allowed. Garrett, do you have any more non-Diddy news?
Yeah, my last story today is a mixed bag. Tim, did you know that Tory Lanez was hospitalized in critical condition after an angry inmate savagely attacked him with a prison shank, stabbing him almost, I believe, 14 times? The rapper suffering both double collapsed lungs.
I did know this.
So, I knew this as well, but what I didn't know until fairly recently is that the man that the prison officials say stabbed Mr. Lanez multiple times says that it was a bit of a misunderstanding. He thought that Tory was coming to take his life. You see, he thought that Tory had put a price on his head, and he simply was acting in self-defense. Santino Casillo told me, my sources, that he heard rumors through the prison grapevine, which is by all accounts a very stinky grapevine, that Tory had a bounty on him. And shortly after, Casillo ran into him and saw a very suspicious lump in Tory's pocket. Not wanting to find out what that lump might be, Casillo stabbed him savagely 14 times in the chest.
Is this one of those wiener lumps?
I couldn't say, Tim.
Okay.
Never got to find out because he began bleeding from several holes in his body.
Yeah. Drake is super on board with getting him out of prison now.
Yeah, he is. Several people are. I don't really understand it.
You know who's not?
I would imagine Megan Thee Stallion.
That's right.
Yeah, we stand with Megan.
Yes.
Tim, any other interesting and exciting news for us?
Yeah, I've got 2 more stories, Garrett. The first of which is Smiley Cyrus news. You see, Garrett, Smiley had a weird idea for a tour. She's releasing this album called Something Beautiful actually, probably by the time this is out, it's already out. And she was going to host a series of concerts in the world's most beautiful and isolated and least convenient locations. Think cathedrals, the middle of the jungle, the desert, intimate places that are full of beauty you can't find in a stadium, as she said. She then, unrelated to this, went on to receive a Disney Legend Award alongside Jamie Lee Curtis and Harrison Ford, who are also receiving these awards. And at some point, she showed the plans of her tour to Mr. Ford, who apparently said, "You really want to go and set up in a forest? And do what? Looks expensive." And that was that. She's not doing it anymore. She was quoted as telling her team, "Guys, we're not performing in the forest anymore." Harrison Ford made a lot of sense.
Harrison Ford spreading his very special brand of charm and excitement throughout the world. I don't really know why anyone would want to have to go to the forest. Couldn't you just broadcast it from home and we could all watch it? Okay, time for Grandpa to go to bed.
Yes.
Who in the hell ever wants to go to the forest and be damp?
I crashed a plane in a forest once.
I've crashed a plane a lot of places,
That's
kid.
right. Garrett, lastly, in our continuing Oreo coverage this week, we recently broke the exclusive story that Post Malone had a unique Oreo flavor, and now Selena Gomez has one as well. Her flavor at least makes a little bit more sense. She's making a horchata Oreo, chocolate and cinnamon and milk flavored. It took scientists 18 months in the lab to create this. It will go on sale June 2nd in the US. This collabo will add to Selena Gomez's reported net worth of $1.3 goddamn billion, most of which is from makeup. Not to be outdone, Slipknot has announced their own collabo with Oreo, making a dead, rotting crow in a jar flavor, which is due to come out this August, which is notably the hottest month of summer. Taste the crow.
Hi there. When you think of Iowa, or the hit band Slipknot, You may not think about whiskey, but we're here to change that. You see, out here at Slipknot Distillery, we do things a little different, and it starts with our bottles. Each one of our glass bottles is blown by hand, and just before we shape the neck, we place a live incubating crow egg in the bottom to complete its gestation in the still warming embrace of a Slipknot whiskey bottle. After hatching, we raise that crow using a combination of complex animatronics and a staff of highly trained animal puppeteers. Each bird is cared for as it would be in the wild, being taught to forage, nest build, and even fly, completely contained within the confines of their bottles. You should see it. One of God's great glories. Upon reaching maturity, the bottle is brought to the fill house, and that bird has the honor of being drowned in 750 milliliters of delicious golden Iowa whiskey. We know what you're thinking. Sure, it takes a little longer and it might cost a bit more, but we think you'll taste the difference. Slipknot whiskey. Won't you taste the crow?
Oh man, Slipknot whiskey. Taste the crow. Alrighty, great stuff, Tim. That brings me to the part of the show that I love. It's called The End. What album are we going to be listening to for an entire week straight before we come back here? I feel like it's going to be a toughie.
Or possibly movie, because I have put that movie, the Hog Wild, into the hopper.
Oh, right. I don't think that's what it's called.
Oh, it is not Hog Wild, Garrett. It is Kiss's Music from the Elder. This has been recommended many times. I think it got the coveted perfect score from Pitchfork.
Double goose egg?
That's right. 0.0 out of 10.
This is their hot. This is taking two things I don't particularly like and putting them together. This is the Satan's Reese's Pieces.
Oh yeah.
Fucking Fantasy Oreo. And Kiss. No, that's just an obvious mistake. This album is like Lord of the Rings meets Kiss.
I believe it is actually the music that the kid on F is for Family plays.
Yes, that sounds right. And I'll go to the edge of the forest and we'll live with the fairies 3. But all kissy.
Yeah, so like that David Bowie album, but bad, because that album kicked ass.
Uncle Arthur thinks he's Batman. Great stuff. All right, well, I'm not looking forward to this week at all now. Thank you for making it bad for me.
You're welcome.
That's a weird response. Okie dokie, folks. Thanks for listening. It's been a dirge. If you made it this far, rate, review, subscribe, follow, force others to listen. I don't know, subscribe your pets, whatever you got to do to get the word out there. We want more people listening. We don't know how to do that, obviously. So do it for us, okay? You can reach out to us, heypodmail@gmail.com. You can send us delightful emails, very similar to the ones we got today, maybe minus the gross stuff, dude, but still very funny. A good title will always get our attention. A bad title will as well. You can find us on Instagram. That's HatePod, album HatePod on Twitter. I'm G Harvey Tweets. We got subreddits. We got Discord servers. All the ways to get in contact with the people on the show if you want to. So go fucking do it. But for this week, I have been one of your hosts, Garrett Harvey.
I have been the other, Timothy P. Richardson. And this might prove to be a controversial opinion, but I think history will eventually prove us right. The 50th season of SNL has been the best season to date.
Can't say. Haven't seen it.
There's cowboys running through my dreams. Nothing's quite the way it seems. I joined the Navy, got kicked out in a week. My facial features aren't distinct. Try to find some meaning in these songs. The genius is a genius, got it wrong. No, it's a lobster murder sex thing. It's the bleaching of the rear. A full assault on both your ears. Riffs are too repetitive, the lyrics make no sense. All the songs are B-sides, the cover art's a mess. Listen to it for a week, now that week has passed. It's the Why I Hate This Album podcast with Tim and Garrett.